Hello guys, welcome to day 2 of my Cake Day class to go. This is a class to go that I'm featuring the first half of December. If you want to get this class to go for free, all you need to do is place an order in my online store, minimum of $50 before tax and shipping and after any Stampin' rewards are applied, and you're going to receive this class to go for free. Now there are extra bonuses at $100. At $100 you're going to receive not only the class kit, but you're going to receive 5 bonus cards from my basket of cards. These are past classes, just cards that I've worked on, cards you've seen on my blog, stuff like that. I will just randomly pick 5 of those and send them to you for free just as a thank you. You'll be able to use those for inspiration or mail them to your family and friends, whatever you want to do with them. If your order is at $150 or more, you're going to receive a full embellishment package of the embellishments we're using this week. And we're using the rainbow dots this week. These are beautiful. This one isn't doing it justice because it's a mismatch of so many different packages, but the rainbow dots are beautiful and fun. Here's a full package. Here's what they look like. They are gorgeous. You'll receive so many of these and you'll have so many left over to play with later. So those are the 3 options to earn the class to go for free. All of the thresholds need to be before tax and shipping and after any Stampin' rewards. You can add the Cake Day bundle to your order, or you can order whatever else you want. You don't have to order the Cake Day bundle. Okay, so this is the card we made yesterday. And remember, this class to go, there's only going to be 3 cards, but you're making 2 of each. So you're going to end up with 6 cards total with this class to go. So it's a pretty generous class to go. So I'm very excited to offer this to you guys. So this is a card we made yesterday. So if you missed yesterday's video, make sure to scroll back and check out yesterday's video. So stunning, so beautiful. Today we are making... Here it is. We're making this card. We're actually going to use the cake as the card front, which is so cute, so adorable. I absolutely love that. And it just reminded me I need to cut down one of my pieces of cardstock. So we'll do that in just a minute. But this is our sweet little card. I need to get that stamped out. I forgot to do that too. Just when you think everything is all put together. Okay, let me grab that stamp so we're ready to go. We're going to start by assembling the cake because I don't know if you can see, but this little pile right here in the corner, I don't know if that's picking up on camera, but I have a bunch of teeny tiny little stars just hanging out here, and I need to get those onto something before I knock them onto the floor. So let's talk about this little cake. So we're going to do this so the cake actually opens for your card, and all these tiny little rainbow stars down here, those are from the dies. Now there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. Now it's these 3 little star dies up here. I have die cut them out of Melon Mambo, Summer Splash, and Daffodil Delight. And we're going to adhere those teeny tiny little stars on. Now, if you're like, that's too much work, I can't do that, that's too tiny, I can't do it. I completely get it. Believe me, once I started doing this, I was already committed. But if I could do it again, I'd be like, you know what, there's easier ways to do that. So what I would do is I would actually die cut into the white piece, and then I'd put some DSP behind it, some real colorful DSP, or even just cardstock behind it, and just let the stars shine through that way. This way there is texture that I do like because they are glued onto the white. But again, it's a little bit like surgery, so just bear with me for that. Okay, so let's start with our cake. So we have a whole piece of our cake die cut from Flirty Flamingo. You're going to get a score line in the middle. The die is going to provide that for you. So you're just going to fold your cake in half. And like we talked about yesterday, the correct cake orientation is with this little point facing down and that curved corner on the top left. So that's the cake orientation. So let's go ahead and start. Well, we got to stamp our cake first. Let's do that first. So we're going to stamp it similarly to the way we did it yesterday. And again, I am missing a stamp. I didn't get it out. Okay, I'm gonna add that one later. We'll just keep going with this. So I'm gonna start with the 2 lines. Again, just down on the bottom straight edge. And I'm gonna do the little sprinkly one on top of that. We'll do the lines again. Oh my gosh, I can't see because of the camera. Like that. And I'm using Flirty Flamingo ink on Flirty Flamingo cardstock. And then this one. Now, I'm not going to get the other stamp out now, but ideally, you would fill it in with the little, like, cake layer stamp. Okay? I don't know why I'm missing that. All right, we're going to move on to our icing. We're going to start with our white layer. So let's do that. We talked about yesterday in day 1 that if you wanted to put all these on adhesive sheets, you could do that. That would make adhering them really easy. Just peel and stick basically. but I am going to, I'm using liquid glue. That is my adhesive of choice there. All right, so that's our cake, our white layer. Now out of Melon Mambo, I've already die cut that same piece, and then we added that drip die, just like I showed you yesterday. So if you missed that video, make sure you check it out. You're gonna wanna make sure you watch all 3 of the cake day videos, just to make sure you get all the tips for everything. All right, we're gonna stick this on, and we are going to get to our stars. So just make sure you line that up. Just make sure that white layer is covered on the top. Doesn't that look fantastic? Like a strawberry cake. So yummy. And then our cake opens this way. So cute, right? All right, I'm gonna grab my take your pick tool. I'm gonna use my putty end. Let's clean that off just a little bit because I don't want too much putty. And then I'm going to use like either one of these. This is from the Crafter's Toolkit, so you can either use the little like fish hook one or the regular pokey one. I'm going to protect my hand and put the cover on one end, but with one in one hand, one in the other, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to do some surgery. So I'm going to pull in my little stars. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can really see what I'm going to do here. All right. So I'm going to use my liquid glue. Now you can use the fine tip glue pin for this too. This is one that I would not recommend the adhesive sheets for because these stars are so tiny that I would struggle taking off the backing. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a star and I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to, if it doesn't stick to the glue right away, I'm going to use my little pokey end and help it to release onto the glue. So, I mean, this reminds me, like, I feel like this is what a surgeon would be doing. Like they're those like robotic surgeons, you know, they go to school forever to learn how to do this. And I'm like, well, I do that in my craft room. Well, no, not really. I'm certainly not comparing myself to a surgeon. They are far more important than what I'm doing, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? All right, so we're gonna add a few more dots of glue. Looks like we have 4 more. One, card surgery. That's what this is. 3, where do I put the last one? Put it up here. Okay, so we're gonna just keep going with our little stars. I'm trying to kind of spread them out, put them, you know, in different places so they're not like right together, but whatever position you want to put them in. Now you can see this is very tedious. So if you, like I said, if you just wanted to die cut those stars into the white layer and then just put some DSP behind it, or some cardstock behind it, that would absolutely work. Okay, there's our stars. We did it. We came out of it unscathed mostly. All right, we're gonna zoom back out. I'm gonna put my take your pick tool back together, and we are ready to go. So it's super cute though, right? I like it. I think it's worth it, but I don't know. I like kind of finicky stuff like that, but again, if I'm making, you know, 10 of these cards, I'm not doing it, guys. I'm just not. All right, let's go to our card base. I do need to trim this down real quick, so let me grab my paper trimmer. I cut a whole card base for this, but the actual base is just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then you have a piece of Summer Splash. Again, both of these are Summer Splash. This one is 5 by 3 3/4, and I have embossed this with the Soft Waves folder. I love this folder. I think it's so versatile. You can use it for a lot of different things. Oh, come on. Do you guys have that happen sometimes? Your Stampin' Seal will kind of rip your embossed ones. You know, we're not even gonna work with the Stampin' Seal. Sometimes when the cardstock gets embossed, the cardstock gets a little bit more fragile, and so Stampin' Seal sometimes likes to pull it up, and so just be careful when you're using your Stampin' Seal. It happens a lot with Stampin' Seal Plus too, I found. So just use that carefully. A whole piece of cardstock stuck to my hand. Hold on. Okay, let's get that off. Okay, so that's just going to add a little bit of texture to the back of our card back there. Okay, so we're going to add our cake. Actually, let's stamp our greeting first. So, okay, get that piece off. Okay, whew. Let's stamp our greeting. I have a piece of white, I believe I have a measurement for this, 3/4 by 4 1/4. And we're going to use that same greeting that we used yesterday, the Happy Cake Day. And I'm going to use this in Melon Mambo. So let me ink this up. and we're just going to stamp this in the center. We're going to trim up the edges just a little bit. So I just want to make sure this gets stamped nice and centered. Whoop, there we go. Perfect. So let me close that Melon Mambo ink because we all know what's going to happen with that. All right. Now for our little greeting, I'm just going to cut it at an angle on both ends. Just real close to the greeting. That'll give us a nice little edge to it. If you wanted to, you could, you know, cut little banner shapes into it. I'm just using a, just an angle. Okay, I'm gonna adhere this down. This one goes flat onto the bottom of our card. Just kind of center it, just on the very bottom. And now we're going to adhere our cake. I'm just gonna use liquid glue. It's right here. It's nice and easy. Adhere your cake, and then we'll continue to decorate our cake. So that's going to go down just like that. Make sure that your little cake opens. Perfect. All right, let's work on the rest of our decorations. Okay, I have 3 of these Daffodil Delight macaroon cookies. Now, if you missed how to assemble these yesterday, check out yesterday's video, and I talked about how to assemble these. So you have 3 of the macaroon cookies. Now 3 of Summer Splash. Now you can either call these little meringue kisses, or you can call them little icing decorations, whatever you want to call them. I like the meringue kisses. I think that's easier to remember for me. All right, and then we have a small out of gold foil. We have a small little sparkle here, and that's going to be our candle flame. And then I have 1 of the little candles cut out, and this is in Lemon Lolly, and we're going to jazz this up just a little bit. So I'm going to bring in some scrap paper, and I want it to have a depth of color. So I'm going to use my let me use my other end, smaller. I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blend, and I'm going to color every other little segment here. And that's going to give it that like classic little two-toned birthday candle color that you see on, you know, in those little packages where you buy the birthday candles. I think I said birthday cone, but I meant birthday candle. The wheels are coming off of this video, guys. But isn't that cute? And you could do this with any color. Die cut it with a lighter color and then just take a darker Stampin' Blend and just really just added some detail to that. Okay, so we have all our die cut pieces. Now, 2 of these are going to go on the inside of our card. So we're going to save those for the inside, and I forgot to stamp my greeting. I got that whole stamp out and then I forgot to do it. Now for the front of our card, we're going to put the rest of these on the front of our card, but we have to be pretty strategic with it because we can't glue things down that's going to adhere, that's going to stop the card from opening. So we have to make sure we stick just to the icing part. So we're going to start with the candle because that's going to be in the very back. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue. Now glue dots would be fine with this. This is a place where you do not want to use adhesive sheets, because if your adhesive sheet is covering the whole thing, once this is down, now your card is not going to open. So I hope that makes sense. So we have our candle on there. I'm going to put the rest of these onto dimensionals. Might need to cut some of these dimensionals in half or use mini dimensionals because we're not going to, I'm going to stick this on just kind of like that, because we're not going to, again, don't want to go put the adhesive past the top of the cake. So I'm going to put the ones on that I know are going to kind of be back here fully onto the cake like this. And so you can keep checking, make sure that your card still opens, that you have not adhered your card closed. So I just have those on there. I want to put another little cookie back here. And so I'm going to just cut a dimensional in half. Again, mini dimensionals would be fine. And I'm going to put that as far to the bottom of the cookie as I can. And then when we put this on, just make sure that that whole dimensional back is covered up back here. Okay, so there you don't have any sticky parts. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. Actually, this one I think I'm just going to adhere flat because this is just going to go back here just like that. And actually, because of this dimensional, I think we can just kind of slide it in like this. Perfect. Just like that. So you can use some adhesive to adhere that down. Actually, that's not going to work because it's not going to let our card open. Okay, let me pull this up carefully. Okay. let's go back to my original plan. We're going to use some adhesive, just a little line of liquid adhesive on there. And I am going to have to lift up this just a little bit. You want to make sure that you're not covering up the edge of the fold over here, because once you do that, it's not going to open. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so we have all our icing decorations, our cookie decorations on top of our cake. We're ready to go. A tiny bit of adhesive just on the top of our candle. I'm going to stick my adhesive sheet back here just in case any of that glue leaks out. We're going to put our little candle sparkle right on top. Perfect. Lovely. Isn't that cute? So cute, right? All right, guys, we're almost done. I know you were like, this is a tedious card to get through. Okay, so we're going to open up the card. We're going to add our little macaroon. I'm using just ice, or I was going to say I'm using icing to adhere these. I'm using my glue icing. You guys, I'll be honest with you guys. It is, I'm filming these the week of Thanksgiving. And I am doing this very early in the morning because I'm trying to get everything done. You know, I still have all the Thanksgiving stuff I got to do. And so I'm trying to get everything done. So I'm filming this very early the week of Thanksgiving. So you'll have to forgive me. All right. Yay, right in the center of our Flirty Flamingo piece. All right, guys, we're almost done. I know you're like, woo, this video, this lady. All right, we're going to add some of those rainbow dots. I'm going to use the yellow ones this time. They're going to coordinate great with those Daffodil Delight macaroons and the candle. So we're going to put a couple up here and one down here by the greeting. All right, guys, that is it. I do love this card. I hope you love it too. This was day 2. Join me tomorrow for day 3. That'll be our final card in the class to go. If you want this class to go, all you need to do is place an order in my online store. Minimum order $50 before tax and shipping and after any Stampin' rewards. And I will send you the class to go for free. You have until December 15th to get your orders in to qualify for the class to go. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you've not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you do that so you never miss a video. I'll join you tomorrow for card number 3. Like I said, is a gorgeous card. And I hope you guys join me. See you then. Bye.